Future-proofing yourself against the coronavirus. It's a tough one. I did mail someone via email recently, and I sort of talked about future-proofing, and he said, well, never mind about the future, what about now? And he's got a fair point, actually. And it is a tough time. I dare say in the last couple of weeks, a lot of us have gone through a lot of shock, resistance, panic, fear, especially of the unknown. Who knows what's going to happen? But I think now, a couple of weeks in, we're starting now to sort of think about it as perhaps being a bit more normal, getting used to it. For me, I've had to sort of accept it because I like to be charging around here, there and everywhere. So I've had to do a lot of thinking and think differently about what I'm doing. And I have that acceptance. But I appreciate, obviously, a lot of people have got to earn. Many of us, me included, all of our business has just been cut. What are we going to do? And I'm very pleased with certain friends and people that I know that have gone out and got other work. Perhaps not doing what they wanted to do, and certainly not earning the money that they used to earn. But they haven't stood still. They've thought, right, yeah, let's crack on. So I may be giving my niece's husband a ring and maybe helping him do his window cleaning round soon if things don't pick up in the future. But if you're running a business or if you're employed, one thing I would encourage you to do is to think long term. Think long term about the situation. And yeah, if you've got to make some short term measures, but don't do anything silly. The big buzzword at the moment is pivot. In other words, pivot your business, change direction so you can pivot and turn. It's amazing how we continue to come up with some great business buzzwords as time goes on. But yeah, don't do anything drastic. I think now's the time for us to be calm and to take stock, perhaps the acceptance of what we're doing and what we've got to do. Yeah, we've got to take those short-term measures, but think about how you can reflect on where you're going with this once this is all over. It will end, hopefully, and we will get back to the normal. But then again, who knows what that's going to be like? For a lot of us, a lot of businesses, perhaps no longer. New business will start up. I've been sort of saying to a lot of people that I've been coaching on the talks that I do, that perhaps what is our job going to look like in the next 6 to 12 to 18 months? And that's before any of this happens. Mainly because of technology, but I think, the way that we work and the way that we operate. Some businesses that used to do very well perhaps aren't going to be so much. So how are you going to fit into all of this? But don't make any rash decisions. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be doing some other videos, obviously, to help you, bounce back. I love that word, bounce back ability, and actually think about how you're going to come out of this and how you're going to progress. But my first key message is don't do anything rash, keep calm, and always think long term. With my business that I set up 20 years ago, I always had a long-term vision for it, and that involved prospecting and winning new business. And I'm still collecting contacts and people to talk to that I won't do any business with this year, but I may the next year. I've always had a very long-term approach. And a couple of my clients took sort of 5 or 6 years to finally get into. So I've always had that long-term approach, and I think that's really important at the moment. No rash decisions, keep calm, reflect, go and talk to people. If you don't ask for those conversations, you won't be able to get them, especially perhaps other people that aren't perhaps as busy as they'd like to be, and they've got time. If you don't ask, you don't get. But don't make any rash decisions, and keep calm and start to think about your planning, how you're going to come out of this, because if we don't do it for ourselves, who's going to do it for us?